The Silent Hill series is well known for being as one of the best, if not the best, horror video game series ever made. It started on the PlayStation 1 with the first Silent Hill game. Then we had a lot of games released after that, and the series was way too big at the time, to the point that there was a huge competition between Silent Hill and Resident Evil, and there was many debates on which is scarier and which is better and so on. However, when the series went to the PlayStation 3, the series started to go downhill. You could argue even before that when it went to Silent Hill Origins, and the same was Resident Evil, but the Silent Hill series in general went downhill even more. In fact, it's well known for having one of the worst remasters ever made, and probably the worst PS2 remasters released for the PlayStation 3. But that's a story for another time, and for a while the series was dead for good. The last game that was released was a forgettable dungeon crawler for the PlayStation Vita, which some said is neither a good Silent Hill game nor a good dungeon crawler. Jack of all trades and master of none, to be specific. And of course, after that we got the infamous Silent Hills game by Hideo Kojima. The demo PT was well received, very greatly received, but of course you know that Konami cancelled it and decided to make sure nobody can download it even again, to the point that the console with any PT game can be sold at a very high price. Silent Hill, however, did get a crossover with Dead by Daylight, but other than the PT demo and the Dead by Daylight crossover, the Silent Hill series kept the PlayStation 4 completely, and basically it was dead for over a decade, until we were surprised by the release of Silent Hill: The Short Message. Not only that, there was also an interactive mobile game that was released. Nobody knew about it. Even then we got Silent Hill 2 Remake, Silent Hill F, and soon we'll have Silent Hill Tower 4. So basically I think Konami is trying to apologize for what they did. They're trying to redeem themselves. Silent Hill: The Short Message is an interesting one. And not just because it's the first game in over a decade in the series, but because it's a first-person game and it's free. Yes, you heard that right. It's completely free. And before you say it's being sold for $70 by Limited Run, this is the disc version for collectors. The digital version is 100% free. So, is this game worth playing? Or should you just keep like most free games? Now let's find out. When you start the game, it will show you a warning about suicide, which I'm sure by now you figured out that the game is about suicide. And the story of this game, you play as a teenage girl called Anita, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the game is set in Germany, because some of the signs in the game seem to be written in German. At least that's what I think. Anyway, you play as a teenage girl called Anita Planert. She starts to receive weird text messages from her friend, a friend who died by suicide. So she starts to figure out whether she's alive or not, and she starts to look for clues. The moment you play the game, there will be two things that you will figure out quickly and will understand what it's about. One, as the game says, is very short. It's called The Short Message after all. B, the game is about suicide because of the warnings that you get. Even though you're in first person, you will be usually working with a phone, and you will get some text messages, which, don't worry, they are made for the story, but otherwise there's no interactivity other than to press the buttons. That means there are no special dialogues. The game itself doesn't really feel like Silent Hill in my opinion. Like, it's Silent Hill in name only. In fact, the only reference to Silent Hill is because of a mental illness in the game. And no, I'm not making this up. This is really how things are. You basically try to look for clues, and there will be notes that are available in the game. While playing, you'll understand the story more about Amelia, and also the notes that explain the game's lore. When I said it's a bad Silent Hill game, it also doesn't really work well as a horror game. Like, I'm not trying to make suicide look like a joke, but the thing is, it just doesn't work well for a horror story. More of a drama story. You're probably wondering if there are monsters or enemies in the game. Yes and no. For the most time you'll be walking normally, which makes the game more of a walking simulator, but there will be some dungeons that you'll enter and you'll find Pyramid Head. But in this game he's called Sakura Head. You'll get warnings before you actually enter these dungeons, so it's like the game's trying to warn you to not to be scared or something like that, I don't know. And most of the time they are pretty easy, you just have to hide from them. But I wouldn't lie, they can be a little scary, but they're not exactly as scary as the first game, which in my opinion even today is still scary despite the outdated graphics, but nevertheless. And if you ever died by one of those Pyramid Heads or Sakura Heads in the game, you will return back to where you started the dungeon. So there's no penalty here. Now regarding the game puzzles, there are two in the game. No, I'm not joking, there are only two. One of them can be a little creative, but once you understand it, you realize it's too easy. The other is more about exploring, which can take a little bit of time. But nevertheless, the game is easy. And don't expect any of the Silent Hill stuff, like there are no multiple endings, there are no complicated puzzles, and there are no aliens in the game. This could have worked something like Life is Strange or any of these dramatic storytelling games, but it doesn't work well as a Silent Hill game. And one thing that really bothers me is the graphics. While it looks amazing, the animation can be a little stupid. Like, why did they make Amelia's hair behind their glasses? It's some motion capture thingy, I don't know. It doesn't affect the gameplay, but it can be a little bothersome. It can be a little annoying, honestly. And by the way, the voice acting in this game is bad.
Died because I killed her.
What are you talking about?
You and Maya wrote letters to each other.
Same with the FMV cutscenes, but they're tolerable at least. Amelia is the worst here. It almost feels like she's reading. Now, look, I know I've been very critical of the game, but to be honest, it's not as bad as many people act. It does have some cool features. The most obvious one is that it's 100% free. That means there are no DLCs, there are no microtransactions, no battle pass, no ads, anything. To be fair, there are ads about some suicide hotline, but that's the whole point of the game, and that's fine, really. Another thing is that the story is not bad, really. It's interesting. It's actually nice. It just doesn't work well as a horror story. And honestly, I was way too critical of the game until I finished it. The ending is heartwarming, and the final song at the end is honestly beautiful.
Layla's team faith, hold my hands now, she said.
So yeah, overall, it's not too bad. It's meant to be some marketing campaign for suicide hotlines, but that's pretty much it. I give it a 6 out of 10. Thank you guys for watching my video. I really hope you enjoyed it. And if you do, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time for more.